Why? Why? What was the point?
And that is Usagi Darling for you, yelling at her 4-year-old over nothing. A literal child, but she doesn't seem to care. She's been cosplaying for years now, and at this point, it's not even about the money. It's about the attention, the drama, the chaos.
Maybe if he wasn't in a diaper all the time.
You're a minor.
This is my motherfucking life. Oh, no, mother.
Oh my god. Go shove strawberries up your ass.
She offends people wherever she goes, whether it's intentional or not. But well, here's the real question. Was she always like this? Has she been this way since the beginning? Or was something or someone the reason she turned into the internet's most controversial mom? The answer? Well, that's a maybe.
He was wearing clothes this morning. This morning he was wearing clothes. Guess who took it off as the heat got worse? Him. Oh my God, it's the end of the world. My kid's too hot.
Because to understand Usagi Darling, you have to dig beneath the wigs, the makeup, the live stream filters, and the viral clips. You gotta see the person she used to be and the messy, complicated road that got her here.
And I'm too much. And I'm too much. Did I know that? Did you bother asking? Did you bother asking? No, the didn't. You just jumped to conclusions. You jumped to conclusions. You didn't even bother asking.
This really isn't about being a cosplayer anymore. It's about internet obsession, blurred reality, and what happens when thousands of strangers are watching your every move, and you give them something to watch. Isabella Bird, better known online as Usagi Darling, isn't your typical TikTok cosplayer.
I cannot help you if you... Oh, you'll be all right.
Sure, she wears the wigs, the makeup, and the costumes, but what's made her famous isn't her cosplay at all, it's her bizarre behavior, the explosive tantrums she throws on live stream.
I'm really kidding. Maybe if he wasn't in a diaper all the time. 90-degree weather, 90-degree weather, 90 degrees weather.
And most disturbing of all, the way she parents her 4-year-old son on camera.
Yeah, Bubby's fine. I know he fell, but he ended up smacking his nose on his tricycle because he was around like he wasn't supposed to, but he's good.
Yes, 4 years old. And if you've ever tuned into her live streams, you'll know exactly what I mean. Sometimes you'll see him wandering in the background, wearing clothing that's clearly not appropriate for a public broadcast.
Hey, take care of your child. Take care of your child. Take care of your child.
Other times, he's been seen bathing while the stream keeps rolling, thousands of strangers watching. She's only 25, living in Illinois, and sometimes goes by Bella. And here's the thing, she doesn't seem to have a steady job. Instead, she's financially dependent on her partner. But that's not what grabs the internet's attention.
My Bunty, we both fly with the trees.
Bella has publicly claimed to have an entire list of mental health conditions: borderline personality disorder, bipolar disorder, dissociative identity disorder, autism, schizophrenia, depression, anxiety, even something she called a love disorder. Yes, all of them. And for many online, that's a red flag they've seen before, because the most notorious figures on the internet often list every possible diagnosis as a badge, whether real or not.
What is on my floor? Come on! I'm stepping in barbecue sauce!
But then there's the most unsettling part. She has allegedly faked seizures on live stream, sometimes with her son right there in the background. The camera keeps rolling, the chat floods with comments, and it almost feels like she's performing for an audience instead of experiencing a medical emergency.
Oh, guys, I have to go.
What's it?
They doxed my kid again, man. They doxed my kid again. And they got his fucking pee-pee on the internet, bro. They fucking posted it again. They posted it again.
And her son, he's blissfully unaware of the storm swirling around him. He doesn't know his mother is one of the most talked about, criticized, and in many circles, hated women on TikTok.
And then when I walked away, he rolled all the way over toward me and grabbed the back of my skirt and was trying to pull it off. Like he was like pulling it down. And then I told him to stop, and then he went to the bed, and then he was throwing more toys at me. He was throwing cars at me. So I told him to get out because this.
To him, she's not controversial. She's not infamous. She's just mom. Maybe a little strange, maybe a little loud, but still mom. Yet for the thousands watching, those live streams tell a different story. A story of blurred boundaries, reckless exposure, and a little boy caught in the middle of an internet spectacle. Something he never asked to be a part of.
With teaching him to keep clothes on. If he doesn't like it, he doesn't like it. Okay? Leave him alone and leave me alone about it. And I know you're watching. This is no excuses for anything at all. This is no excuses for anything. I'm literally being for real. Stop saying I'm making excuses. You don't have children. You are children. You are children. Children trying to tell me that I'm a bad parent raising my child. Thank you, Warlock. Like, you're a child telling me that I'm a bad parent when you don't even know what it's like to raise a child.
And that's where the mystery begins, because behind the scenes, the cosplay and the chaos, you can't help but wonder, how did we get here?
Ask at all why the I said it. You just told me I was too much. No, you didn't. I was reading the comments. I was reading all the comments. You did not even ask me if I was okay. Stop gaslighting me to sit here and think that you even bothered asking me if I was okay. Because you didn't. I read every goddamn comment. Every goddamn comment, I read it. Do not gaslight me.
One of the longest-running controversies around Bella is her alleged claim of having dissociative identity disorder, or DID.
8:30, and we waited all the way until 9:30, and she still didn't bring our food.
Bro, what the?
Yeah, and she never brought it, and I had to cancel the order because she wasn't bringing it. She kept parking and waiting and sitting around, and she was doing it on purpose. I had people destroy my food, and I've tipped them really generously, and they've destroyed my food or ruined my coffee or broken like the cup.
For a long time, she said she was a system, switching between different personalities, telling viewers this was her reality. She kept up the act right up until a few months ago.
You know, someone block Rumi as well, since they wanna tell me to get hated on.
And then, almost without warning, she flipped. Now she goes live mocking people who do say they're systems. The irony's hard to miss. Whether someone's lying or telling the truth, it's a strange move to openly ridicule something you yourself once claimed.
It's called getting a raise and a promotion, and they hand you down the store. They hand you down the store and the key to the store. Are you that stupid? It seems like your brain doesn't work. Because I've known how this job works for the last 2 years. I'm gonna waste my breath because this person and a bunch of other people have thought to waste their breath on me for the last year.
The problem isn't just hypocrisy. Mental illnesses are serious, life-altering conditions for the people who actually live with them.
And it's like with me, they're like,
You shouldn't have had a kid.
because you're autistic, or,
Why did you spread your legs while being autistic?
you know, like that.
Give your kid up because you're autistic.
Like that really irritates me. But the second my kid walks away from me, I'm so abusive.
But for Bella, they seem to come and go like trends. She cycles through diagnosis with no professional evidence, BPD 1 month, DID the next, then schizophrenia, then something new entirely.
I hate everything about you. Why do I love you?
Each time it feels strategic, as though she's picking the one that'll give her the most sympathy or shield her from criticism at that exact moment. It's a pattern she's had since the beginning, deflection dressed up as vulnerability.
Act like you are saying this to someone you hate, and let people guess your zodiac.
Let me tell you all a story about a mouse named Lori. Yeah, Lori was a mouse in a big brown house. She called herself the hoe with the money glow. But fuck that little mouse, 'cause I'm...
Her TikTok account, Residential Player 222, isn't huge. It has just over 5,000 followers, but it's the stage where she performs all of this. On the surface, it's a cosplay page. She dresses up in elaborate outfits, dances, and applies makeup on camera. A big chunk of her content comes from live streams, where she gets ready in real time, chatting with viewers and even letting some join in via voice.
Sticking Sharpies in your f***ing nose? Well, it seems like you do. It's not finished.
But sprinkled between the cosplay are moments that make people double take. She has frequent, unpredictable tantrums. In one stream, she slammed her head on the floor hard enough to shock the chat. It didn't come across like a genuine medical incident. It looked rehearsed, almost theatrical, as if she'd practiced how to make it dramatic enough to keep eyes glued to the screen. Sometimes, maybe even most of the time, her frustration turns toward her child. On camera, viewers have watched her snap at her 4-year-old mid-stream. And the question that always lingers is terrifying. If this is what she's comfortable showing, what happens when no one's watching? The boy is still in a crib and speaks more like a 2-year-old than a preschooler. People point it out constantly, seeing it as a red flag about his development and about what kind of care he's getting at home.
No.
Don't stop telling me no.
So you took the love from my arms into the arms of yours, but I didn't care for me. No, I didn't care for me.
Of course, Bella doesn't take criticism quietly. Every live stream, the comments fill with questions, insults, or genuine concern. And every time she fires back, she rants. She demands to know why she's too much and what people expect from her. She can't ignore it. Every piece of hate becomes fuel for another outburst.
And I'm too much. And I'm too much. Did I know that? Did you bother asking?
It's the behavior of someone stuck in the mindset of a moody teenager, swinging from one extreme emotion to another, refusing to take responsibility, reacting without thinking.
For me. Right, they literally said girl. Like, that's not an accident. No, I will not read it. He did, Miss Know-It-All. Bro, you guys are obviously sticking up for him. That's really weird. He literally said, are you married to a girl, a guy, or a girl? And then afterwards, he said girl.
Except Bella isn't in high school anymore. She's a grown woman with a child to raise. And if you were holding out hope that her partner might be the grounding force in this chaos, the steady hand guiding the household, you might want to rethink that. Because that assumption, that's where a lot of people made their biggest mistake. If you thought Bella was the only chaotic force in that household, think again. The father of her child is no better. On streams, you can hear him having outbursts toward their son, snapping, raising his voice, acting like it's perfectly normal. To them, this is everyday life. To everyone else watching, it's disturbing.
Are you insane like me? Been in pain like me? Bought $100 bottle of champagne like me? Just pour that motherfucker down the drain.
This isn't the kind of exaggerated, tongue-in-cheek performance some creators put on to entertain. When Bella or her partner lash out, they're not playing to the crowd. They're serious. Dead serious.
I like my beat fast and my bass down low. Drop it to the face down low. Face down low. I like my beats fast and my bass down low.
People have repeatedly told her how inappropriate her behavior is. Not just for herself and her audience, but especially for her child. She's planting the seeds for trauma in real time in front of thousands. And now some viewers treat it like sport. They poke and prod her on purpose just to watch her explode, and she always does.
Oh, she's not a child. She's 1,000 years old. 1,000.
It's become a cycle. She gets ready for a stream, does her cosplay, and then spends the rest of it ranting and raging at hate comments. At this point, you've probably pieced together the kind of personality we're dealing with, a volatile one. Bella genuinely believes she's the main character, that the entire internet has conspired against her. In her eyes, she's not someone with accountability issues. She's the misunderstood victim, surrounded by bad people trying to bring her down.
In high school, when my friend hugged me, I was literally like always rubbing my face. And her massively large testicles.
Say anything, literally anything that she interprets as criticism, and she'll turn it into a personal attack. Even neutral comments somehow become about her. Naturally, that kind of behavior doesn't go unnoticed. Her accounts have been taken down over and over again, but she refuses to quit. Every time she's banned, she reappears under a new username as if nothing happened. Once she even built an account up to 60,000 followers before losing it too. Still, she calls it persistence. The trolling has worn her down enough that she occasionally posts about taking a break or needing time away. She'll claim the situation has spiraled out of control, that she doesn't want this drama to define her. But the truth is, most of the so-called haters are just people asking her to treat her child with basic decency. She never actually quits, just threatens to, and keeps posting as if nothing's wrong. Bella seems to believe that all publicity, even the negative kind, is good publicity. But when criticism comes, she bristles immediately, as though that's not exactly the kind of attention she's been courting all along. She thrives on the chaos, the eyes on her, the constant engagement. But it's a double-edged sword. Negative publicity doesn't just keep you relevant, it corrodes your reputation until people only watch you to see the next meltdown.
Yes, I'm blaming you because at 17 years old, you are old enough to know better. At 17-year-old, you are old enough to know better. You are old enough to know better at 17 years old, not to date a 19-year-old and flex about it.
Some viewers find joy in watching the train wreck. It's a toxic loop for everyone involved. And yet Bella embraces it. She's even bragged about the drama making her famous, claiming that her ex tried to defame her but only helped her grow.
My ex, my ignorant ex who's making inappropriate profiles. Probably one of them, I'm pretty sure. Can't get a life. Him and a bunch of other people are doing it. Him, his sister, like 3 other people, I'm pretty sure.
But what's she actually growing into? Is it worth losing your privacy, dignity, and peace for a follower count you can't even keep?
Imagine dating me and then blaming me because you got bullied too. Ha 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 ha. Sorry. Not my fault. They decided to pick on you because you were dating me.
He's like, you never protected me.
He's like, you never protected me. I'm not supposed to. You're a grown man. Stay off the internet. That you decided to stay. Your choice, your consequences.
Her numbers have shrunk drastically. The latest account sits at just over 5,600 followers, with maybe 10 people joining her lives, most either rubbernecking or morbidly curious. She takes that as proof she still has fans. In reality, it's a fraction of what she once had. Bella's ego, however, has only gotten bigger. She rages on camera constantly. And while you might say that as long as it's just online, it's harmless, the problem is she's still a mother, and her son is absorbing every moment.
When? Because last time I recalled, I sit in the bathroom the entire time that is in the bathtub. Parents with common sense sit in the bathroom when the kids are taking baths. Not at all. I literally was standing here the entire time you done. While my child was in the tub, he was never unattended. Not even for the slightest second. Oh, she always leaves him unattended. When? Get up. You act like he's gonna just sit there with his face in the water. You know what? You act like you know my child. You know what he does? You know what he does? He sticks his face in the water, matter of fact. Matter of fact, he sticks his face in it on purpose. And then he drinks it, okay? I don't sit down and then wash his hair. The are you thinking? And no, the you're saying, she just stood up on the tub. He climbed out of the tub, you dumbass. How else is he supposed to get out? Huh?
That's not something that disappears when the stream ends.
This is my lunch, guys. I starved myself all day and I'm eating chips. Biggie, I'm smaller than you, so go yourself.
One of the most frequent criticisms she gets is for letting her child appear on live streams wearing nothing but a diaper, and sometimes all naked. Yes, toddlers sometimes undress themselves, but doing that in front of a global audience is reckless. The internet isn't a safe space, and exposing her child to it like that is a glaring lapse in judgment. When viewers pointed out Bella doesn't acknowledge the concern, she snaps, accusing people of overreacting, or worse, claiming her autism excuses her parenting choices. She even shifts the blame onto her son, saying he took his clothes off because it was hot. But responsibility doesn't disappear because a child is stubborn. And if you think that's where the boundary crossing stops, well, the next part is where things truly go off the rails. The next line of defense Bella pulls is as predictable as it is deflective. She claims that anyone concerned about her child's appearance on livestream is just a predator in disguise.
Yeah, there are bad people like you because you thought sexual about my child in a diaper. So yes, I am speaking up.
In her mind, only creepy-minded people would even think there's something wrong. She paints herself as this naive, harmless mom who just doesn't see the danger. But oh well, it's not just about what people think. It's against TikTok's own policy to show a child in such a vulnerable state on camera. And whether she wants to believe it or not, there are bad people online who specifically look for that kind of content. Denying it doesn't make it less true. And if you thought the problem stopped there, well, welcome to the state of her living environment. The trailer itself looks like a war zone on most streams. Sure, clothes on the floor happen, life gets messy, but then you see where her son sleeps, or rather where he doesn't. His bedroom, it's not a bedroom anymore. It's a storage unit, bags of laundry, piles of cosplay costumes, random clutter from wall to wall.
Oh.
Bella has her own room, but instead of using it, she's turned her child's space into her personal closet. Which begs the question, where is this kid actually sleeping? Because it's clearly not in his bed. It's the kind of environment where strangers on the internet start thinking, this kid would honestly be better off somewhere else. You shouldn't need enemies when you have parents like this. And while you're still trying to process that, Bella decides to go the extra mile for content. On camera, she eats expired yogurt because it's only a day past the Best By date. She gags at the curdled texture, complains about how gross it is, but keeps going because, hey, views. Same goes for stale cereal. She acts like it's quirky and harmless, but it's more telling than she realizes. If this is how she treats herself, it's no surprise how she feeds her son. Forget balanced meals. She orders him donuts for breakfast because that's what he wanted.
Okay, so for breakfast, I ordered Bubby donuts because he wanted donuts. What age did I have? 21. Bubby wanted donuts for breakfast, so I ordered donuts. And then for lunch, we had hot dogs and chips, and then with a side of potato salad. And then for dinner, I had ordered frozen food from Walmart, brain freeze. So we're either gonna have pizza or we're gonna do like the Alfredo.
She rarely cooks, and when she does, you can imagine the quality coming from someone with her level of care. Instead, the boy gets candy, hard candy, Jolly Ranchers until his teeth literally start rotting. She even posts in Discord complaining that her son kept her up crying all night because his teeth hurt. She casually admits that he ate hard candy earlier, probably wasn't a good idea. Probably? Then she adds that his stomach hurt, he was burping and farting, and she was up until 1:30 a.m. as if he's the problem.
I'm gonna screenshot it and say that he was crying and she was hurting him. No, he was laughing and we were playing because he had one and I had one. No, there's not, you dumbass. Bobby, come here. Because literally yesterday, this kid was beating on me and I was sitting on the floor. No, there's not, so don't test me. Are you sensitive about a memory foam slipper, crybaby?
The poor kid had 4 sippy cups of milk and candy all night. Of course his teeth and stomach are in agony. But the low point, the thing that made even her followers' jaws drop, was the vinegar incident.
You can't have this. It's icky. This isn't water.
No.
Hypocrite at its finest, I know. Do you want to try it? Because I'm telling you, this is vinegar. No, no, no. He's going to learn his lesson. Hold on, hold on. Here you go. Here, here. You can have the vinegar. Take it. I'm telling you, it doesn't taste good. Ha, he'll learn his lesson. It's just vinegar. Here you go. You'll learn your lesson. Get out of my face. He'll learn.
Yes, she handed her 4-year-old a bottle of vinegar, not because he grabbed it himself, but because she thought it would teach him a lesson. A preschooler drinking vinegar, and she acted like it was no big deal. Then, in the inevitable TikTok defense video, she tried to spin it, said the child wanted it, so she told him to smell it first. When he threw a tantrum, she gave it to him anyway, as if a 4-year-old can fully understand what vinegar even is. This wasn't teaching, it was punishment. It was making a child suffer under the guise of parenting. And the fact that she still thinks she can justify it might be the clearest proof yet of just how far gone Bella really is.
Listen, I didn't give him vinegar to drink. Making him, him begging for vinegar on the counter that I clearly told him that it wasn't water. I told him, here, smell it. It's not water. And then when he smelled it and realized that it wasn't water, he threw it at me and got mad. So that's not him drinking it. He did get something to drink after, dumbass.
Bella's favorite line lately is, "It's none of your business. None of our business what she does, what she says, how she raises her child."
I clearly told him a million times that the one that I had in the bathroom wasn't water. And then when he smelt it and realized that it wasn't water, he ran off and grabbed the real water bottle off the bed like I asked him to. So that's not abuse. You're the ones whining because y'all are nosy and crying over stupid that's none of your business. Your siblings, well, guess what? I'm not you, because when somebody's screaming and crying over something that I have obviously clearly said that wasn't something, you obviously have to show them that it's not that something for them to understand that it's not that something.
But here's the thing. When you broadcast your life to the entire internet, you're making it everyone's business. And when that life includes reckless behavior that puts a child in harm's way, you're practically forcing people. She has an audience filled with all kinds of people. Some pity her, some are offended by the way she treats her child, and others simply watch to be entertained by the drama. Her son's diet is one of the most common concerns raised by viewers. Many point out that she provides nothing truly healthy or balanced for him, instead prioritizing convenience and instant gratification.
Are you sensitive about a memory foam slipper, crybaby? You're sensitive, crybaby. I probably should. With a regular sandal. My gyro wasn't even good. Honey, I'll be better than you any day. Thank you. Crying over memory foam. Honey, I can spell. I can spell.
People have questioned why, after everything that's happened online, she still allows her son to appear on live streams in situations that raise safety concerns. She's been told directly by some viewers that individuals are saving and sharing screenshots, yet she continues streaming without changing her approach. To many, this seems reckless. The internet is full of strangers, not all with good intentions, and instead of limiting her son's exposure, she continues to put him in situations where he becomes the focus of attention. Concerned viewers have told her repeatedly to simply wait until after live streams to bathe him or keep private moments off camera, but she dismisses those suggestions. Instead, she appears to prioritize her streaming schedule over basic privacy. What frustrates people even more is that she openly acknowledges that others are reposting images of her son but still goes live regardless. On one hand, she speaks about the problem and gains sympathy for the invasion of privacy. On the other, she placed him in that position to begin with.
Prepared to be blind. By the way, those are fake boobs. They also claim to be a trans man, and wears fake for clout.
To some observers, it seems like she's using that sympathy to redirect attention toward herself rather than genuinely changing the behavior that caused this situation. This pattern of defending herself while shifting responsibility is a recurring theme. She often claims her son understands what's happening and is fine with it, but he's only 4 years old. Leaving him unattended or treating him like an independent adult is unrealistic and unsafe. When she herself reacts to criticism with dramatic outbursts, it's difficult to expect that she'll set a calmer, more stable example for her child. Being in the same room with your child is not the same as actively caring for them. Many viewers feel that while Bella is physically present, she's mentally and emotionally focused on her phone and her audience rather than her son's needs.
Or whatever the hell your name is. I'm really kidding. Maybe if he wasn't in a diaper all the time. 90-degree weather. 90-degree weather. 90 degrees weather. I'm gonna repeat myself a million times. He was wearing clothes this morning. This morning he was wearing clothes. Guess who took it off as the heat got worse? Him. Oh my God, it's the end of the world. My kid's too hot.
The end result is an environment that feels chaotic and neglectful, with moments that could easily be avoided if she prioritized her child's safety and well-being over live stream content.
Daddy, mommy.
What?
We said.
Well, that's dirty water coming from the AC because the AC unit is broken and it's leaking, and please don't touch it. Don't touch it. It's icky.
Whoa.
For those watching, the situation is deeply frustrating. They see an avoidable problem play out repeatedly, and each time Bella is confronted, she chooses to defend her actions instead of reevaluating them. The longer this continues, the more people feel that her online presence is doing more harm than good, not just for her reputation, but for her child's future. TikTok can be a dangerous time sink. It pulls your focus in completely, and once you're locked in, it's easy to ignore everything else happening around you. With Bella, that problem feels magnified. She's so glued to her phone that there have been moments when she's left her son in the bathtub alone, something any parent with common sense knows is risky. If her son can wander on camera for several seconds without her noticing, then he has enough time for something to go wrong. Most parents would stay right there with their child during bath time, giving them their full attention.
He can't drown and this much water.
Instead, Bella claims it's his choice or that he's just playing. She's even said she can't take him to the pool because he might drown, missing the irony that the same danger exists when he's left unattended in the tub.
He's 3. He knows how to swim. He knows how to swim, stupid. We've been teaching him how to swim since he was 1. He literally knows how to pick himself up. He knows how to get up. You act like he's gonna just sit there with his face in the water.
The real concern here is not that baths themselves are dangerous, but that she's not consistently paying attention. And when she does focus on him, it's often in the form of shouting rather than positive interaction. It paints a picture of a parent who doesn't fully recognize how her habits might be impacting her child.
You know what? You act like you know my child. You know what he does? You know what he does? He sticks his face in the water, matter of fact. Matter of fact, he sticks his face in it on purpose. And then he drinks it, okay? I don't leave him unattended at all in the bathtub, thank you. Not at all. I literally was standing here the entire time, you dumb. While my child was in the tub, he was never unattended. Not even for the slightest second.
Sadly, it's not just Bella. The father, from what viewers have heard, can be equally volatile, raising his voice at their son over small things.
Oh, she always leaves him unattended. When? 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 Because last time I recalled, I sit in the bathroom the entire time that is in the bathtub. Parents with common sense, sit
in the bathroom when the kids are taking baths. Dude, I take advantage of the fact that he's taking a bath. I use that time to take a matter of fact, thank you, and I'll be open about it. I'll be wide open about it, thank you. If he wants to take a bath, I will take that opportunity to take a fat, and I'll be way open about it. Try me. I'm literally on the toilet that's right next to the bathtub. I don't even fill the bathtub up that high though. He doesn't need that much water. If he's not getting an actual bath, I don't even fill it up with water that much. He doesn't need it. He's just playing in it. He's just playing in it. Do they not know that he goes to the pool?
She sometimes mutes her live streams to cover up what's happening in the background. And when she forgets, she'll speak loudly to drown out other voices. It's clear she knows some of these moments wouldn't sit well with her audience. One incident that stood out was when her son accidentally reset her computer. Instead of treating it as a small mistake, she lost her temper. She's even gone as far as calling him the bully, suggesting that he's the reason people think she's cruel, shifting blame rather than reflecting on her own behavior. It's unsettling to imagine how a 4-year-old might process all of this. At such a young age, a child is still figuring out right from wrong, and the environment his parents create will heavily shape that understanding. Bella has also complained about her son pulling at her clothes, brushing it off as something harmless, but it raises questions about what he's seen and learned, especially given how much time he spends in the background of her cosplay live streams.
No, he tried to hit me with this.
Exposure to content or behavior that isn't age-appropriate can influence a child's actions, and brushing it off as just a phase ignores the root of the problem.
And then when I walked away, he rolled all the way over toward me and grabbed the back of my skirt and was trying to pull it off. Like he was like pulling it down. And then I told him to stop, and then he went to the bed, and then he was throwing more toys at me. He was throwing cars at me. So I told him to get out, because this stuff lately where he's thinking it's funny to use me and hit me with things. He's been doing this for I don't know how long, and he thinks it's hilarious to do. I mean, as a mom, I didn't think I'd ever have a phase in my life where I have to teach my child that using your mother isn't okay.
Things escalate beyond words. Viewers have seen her engage in rough physical contact with her son, framing it as play fighting, but the interactions look far from playful. At times she's used objects or physically shoved him, which understandably worries people. Any form of hitting, especially with a small child, sends the wrong message and risks harm, both physically and emotionally. Instead of addressing these concerns, she tends to downplay them, skipping over key incidents while defending herself. She doesn't talk about moments where she's been too rough or where her temper has gotten the best of her. This avoidance only makes the criticism grow stronger. The sad truth is that the sympathy in this situation doesn't go to Bella, it goes to her son. People see a young child who needs guidance, stability, and affection, and instead gets caught in the middle of online drama and volatile moods. At his age, he should be learning through play, exploring the world safely, and having positive role models. Being a parent is no easy job, but it comes with the responsibility to protect and nurture.
Went and found and subscribed to my adult social media to get to my noodles and posted them on TikTok. Yeah, but I'm the but they subscribed to my own, my they subscribed to my just to get to my noodles and posted them. That's the sad part. Yeah, I know, that's really bad. But I'm the weirdo, and I'm the weirdo.
Instead, Bella spends hours live streaming, cosplaying, and engaging in internet disputes, leaving less time and attention for the one person who needs it most. While she focuses on her online image, her son misses out on moments that could help him grow into a happy, confident person. It's not about being perfect, it's about being present. The frustrating part is that so many of these problems could be avoided with simple changes, keeping private moments offline, showing more patience, and prioritizing her child over her phone. Yet despite repeated feedback from viewers, the pattern continues. For many watching, it's this unwillingness to change that's the most disheartening thing of all. It's hard to understand why Bella chose to have a child if she was only going to keep putting herself and her own priorities before him. Parenting means making sacrifices. You can't just continue the exact same lifestyle you had before. But with her, it seems like her world still revolves entirely around her own routines, while her son's needs come second.
Witness them acting inappropriately and have begged them to physically stop. Like, I shouldn't have to sit here and listen to somebody moan into my mic and watch them hump a stuffed animal, bro.
What?
Oh yeah, I've seen some things, and I would make an excuse why I'm ending the phone call.
While all of this other drama was unfolding, she was also getting criticized for how she was handling his education. In one post, she insisted that the last thing she'd address as a mother was why her son wasn't in school or daycare. Her reasoning? There are too many bad stories from daycare centers. The excuse sounds flimsy when you realize what's really happening. He's essentially isolated from the outside world with no proper educational structure in place. And instead of structured learning, she uses Minecraft to teach him new words, which is likely what he's doing while she's live streaming for hours. She genuinely seems to believe she's enough to provide him with everything he needs to learn, and that sending him out into the world is unnecessary or unsafe. In her mind, knowing the ABCs and counting to 100 is a sufficient education for a 4-year-old. She calls what they do activities, but these so-called activities appear to be limited to cosplay, endless screen time, and Minecraft sessions. While Minecraft can be creative for older children or adults, it's not a substitute for real-life experiences, especially for a toddler who has never attended daycare, never interacted much with peers, and has spent his whole life in a closed, unhealthy environment. She proudly claims he knows a lot of words for his age, yet his speech patterns suggest otherwise, more closely resembling that of a much younger child. She likes to point to tragic cases of abuse in schools as justification for keeping him home, but the irony is glaring. Her own environment isn't exactly offering the safety, enrichment, and healthy development she claims to be protecting him for. Bella says he'll start kindergarten eventually, but there's no acknowledgement of the developmental gaps he might face by then. He's still learning how to process and express emotions, and his limited exposure to the outside world isn't helping. And despite all the public concern, the criticism, the documented examples, the people who have even tried to report what's going on, she carries on as though nothing needs to be changed. Given everything that's happened so far, it's no surprise that people have called in welfare checks on Bella. What is surprising is her reaction when one was denied. Instead of taking it as a wake-up call or even showing a hint of humility, she went live just to mock the people who tried. Smirking at the camera, she gloated about how they submitted that, but it got denied. So nice try.
Denies your so-called evidence? Stop trying. Stop trying. Stop trying.
She made it into a game as though her child's safety was a punchline. And then in true Bella fashion, she had brought up another notorious name, Ash Trevino, a lot of times infamous for her own parenting controversies.
I do feel bad for Ash's kids too, though. Like, she generally, there's no, screen recordings that were submitted to the state, and they came and did a welfare check and said that the evidence was not evident enough for abuse and neglect. You guys are so petty. If the state...
Bella claimed she felt bad for Ash's children. The irony? Absolutely jaw-dropping. According to Bella, the screen recordings and clips people had submitted to the state weren't evident enough to prove abuse or neglect.
That you guys submitted, by the way, it got denied, so nice try.
She framed the whole thing as petty harassment. In her mind, if the state doesn't take action, everyone should stop trying, stop interfering with her parenting, which really means stop trying to protect her child from her. What's worse is how some people actually defend her. They shrug it off with lines like, "Nobody's perfect." But the behavior in question here isn't about being imperfect. It's about patterns that keep crossing serious boundaries. Bella's choice of content doesn't help her case either. She often cosplays characters that are explicitly childlike, sometimes from anime, sometimes from actual children's cartoons, and pairs it with provocative dancing. And yes, she's done these performances with her toddler in the room. Cosplay itself is not the problem, but when it's sexualized, themed around minors, and done with a child's immediate view, it crosses a line. That's not opinion, that's basic safeguarding, and Bella has repeatedly ignored that line. There's more. She openly advertised her explicit content on platforms like Discord and Instagram, places where she knew minors were present. Multiple accounts have accused her of inappropriate conversations with underage users, including one where she was talking to a 10-year-old boy.
Also claimed I had a 13-year-old, which nobody I know is 13.
Oh,
so,
wait, give me a second.
My life. Because if you got... Okay.
Who turned 14 this year?
Others have come forward saying they interacted with her at 17 while she was in her 20s.
Yes, I'm blaming you because at 17 years old, you are old enough to know better. At 17-year-old, you are old enough to know better. You are old enough to know better at 17 years old, not to date a 19-year-old and flex about it.
It doesn't stop there. At one point, she allegedly shared images featuring an 8-year-old inside a Discord group. She also promoted an OF account where she repeatedly sold content, sometimes while dressed as fictional minor characters. After public backlash, she deleted the accounts, but only after the damage was done.
By the way, their so-called proof is rumors that they've made up themselves. And tweaked pictures that they've photoshopped.
Her response, it's all rumors and Photoshop. That's her default defense. Deny everything, paint herself as the victim, and hope the controversy fades. People who've known her personally say the red flags were always there, a need for attention that bordered on desperate, constantly inserting herself into drama, making others uncomfortable just to stay at the center of chaos. Seeing her now doing the same things on a public stage only confirms what they'd sensed years ago. And the truth is, the internet is dangerous enough for adults, but when you're pulling your child into the middle of it, exposing them to strangers and volatile content, the risks multiply. A kid deserves privacy, safety, and a life outside of this mess, something Bella doesn't seem interested in providing. Even Bella's own mother has tried to warn her. In a message dripping with concern, she said that it's just a little heads up, posting stuff like this only brings drama into her life. If she would just let crap like this be, she'd be a little happier, and that she loves her for being outspoken, but there's a time and a place for that, and social media is not one of them. She's almost 25 with a child, and fighting and arguing over things that should be ignored only makes her look immature. But here's the twist. Bella's husband has also spoken out, and his words paint a picture that's just as toxic behind closed doors. He said that he's really tired of being the bad guy all because he retaliated, literally getting crap talked for no reason. He said that she's always rude to him, getting mad when he's done nothing. He's tired of her. She's the most rude person he's ever met, and that he's stuck with her because they have a kid. Always hateful. Then once he tried to defend himself, she called him abusive, and suddenly he's the bad guy.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why you guys get off with being here, but I don't affiliate myself with him, don't like him, I don't give a about him, and him talking about me is so lovely.
She talks crap to her family about him, to her friends, even calls her family, trying to turn them against him. He has begged her to be nice or he's going to leave her for real. He's exhausted. He literally is begging at this point for someone to get this girl out of his house, and that her parents are literally enabling this behavior. Between the public controversies, the alleged inappropriate conduct with minors, the volatile home environment, and the lack of accountability, Bella's situation isn't just messy and it's dangerous. And the one person who can't escape it is the one person who had no choice in the matter, her son. As of mid-2025, there's no visible sign that Bella is still live streaming under that name. Community chatter and TikTok gossip forums like those from early 2024 focus on her constant live streams, dramatic breakdowns, and messy cosplay setup, but there have been no fresh updates or new sightings indicating she's still live on the regular. That doesn't necessarily mean she's gone silent. It's more likely she's ducking back into the shadows, using alternate accounts, staying off mainstream platforms, or maybe streaming off-grid entirely. But the void she's left highlights something crucial. When someone becomes infamous enough to spark multiple welfare checks and sustained online watchdog efforts, even their silence becomes a statement. She may not be going live while her child walks around in the background anymore, but Bella's story remains active in the voices of worried viewers, supportive commenters, and small online communities still tracing every breadcrumb. Ultimately, it feels like the public performance is paused, for now. But what do you think? Where does Bella go from here? Can she turn her chaos into change? Or will history just keep repeating itself? What do you think happens next?